So President Joe Biden has once again baffled many Americans by seemingly giving contradicting points in just one statement. So what did he say? He said that he's not big on abortion, but that Roe got it right. It's kind of like saying, I'm a Democrat, but I'm also a Republican. It doesn't make much sense, does it? U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has finally responded to Representative Jim Jordan about his role in the statement of 51 former intelligence officers calling the Hunter Biden laptop as Russian disinformation. Now, Jordan didn't seem too pleased about what Blinken provided, and this may not be the last that we hear about this issue. Do you guys believe that Blinken was involved with having former officers write a statement about the infamous laptop being nothing more than disinformation against Hunter Biden's father, Joe Biden? The Supreme Court has now overturned race-based college admissions, and former President Barack Obama, together with President Biden, not very happy about it. Now, one person who does think that this is a step in the right direction is former President Donald Trump. Now, speaking of Trump, he just fought fire with fire as he's now suing E. John Carroll for defamation, as well as she says that the former president raped her, even though a jury has found that to be false. How much is he suing her for? $5 million. The same amount that Trump needs to provide her for sexual abuse charges. And Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's also talking about gun control and his efforts to move away from the Democratic Party's say on it and hopefully appeal to some voters when it comes to gun violence. All right, folks, you guys know how it is. Let's get right into the updates. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below. It's right below the link to get a free quote for your home warranty. All right, guys. So Judiciary Committee Chairman Representative Jim Jordan, he's calling out Secretary of State Anthony Blinken for his continued deflection of his role in the statement made by 51 former intelligence officials regarding the infamous laptop of first son Hunter Biden. So here's what Jordan said about it recently. Quote, Secretary Blinken continues to deflect responsibility for his role in misleading Americans about the Hunter Biden allegations, especially in light of recent revelations. Congress should be ready to use all available options to get the truth. End quote. Now, Blinken's attorney, Jonathan Suing, he argued that the secretary had already said before that he did not solicit the statement from the intelligence officials and that the statement did not involve classified information or security clearances. Suing also acknowledged that Blinken was a private citizen at the time, but given the circumstances, he's already explained himself enough. Now, while Jordan has talked about a subpoena, I don't think that one has actually been filed against the secretary. Now, on that note, former President Donald Trump, he's taken a page out of E. John Carroll's playbook and is suing her for defamation. A federal judge in New York found that Trump was not liable for rape, but was liable for sexual abuse and defamation. Knowing this, Trump called out Carroll for appearing on CNN the day after the same jury awarded her $5 million in damages.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday sued columnist E. Jean Carroll for defamation, making a counterclaim alleging she falsely accused him of rape after a civil trial, one in which the jury found he was liable for sexual abuse but not for rape. That verdict came in May. Carroll, a former Elle magazine writer, had testified that Trump raped her in a New York City department store in the mid-1990s and then ruined her reputation by calling her a liar when she went public in 2019.
In the appearance, Carroll was asked about the allegations of abuse, but that Trump did not rape her, as she alleged, to which she answered, quote, "Oh, yes, he did," end quote. Now, Trump's lawyers are demanding that Carroll retract her defamatory statements and to award the former president with compensatory and punitive damages. Carroll's lawyer fired back by saying this, quote, Donald Trump again argues, contrary to both logic and fact, that he was exonerated by a jury that found that he sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. Trump's filing is thus nothing more than the latest effort to delay accountability for what a jury has already found to be his defamation of E. Jean Carroll. But whether he likes it or not, that accountability is coming very soon, end quote. Kind of feel like there's going to be a little bit of back and forth between these two legally. I'm just not sure who's going to actually have the last say. But in the same light, President Joe Biden criticized the most recent ruling from the Supreme Court that race can no longer be considered as a factor in university admissions. So here's what he said about it.
We cannot let this decision be the last word. We cannot let this decision be the last word. While the court can render a decision, it cannot change what America stands for. America is an idea, unique in the world, an idea of hope and opportunity, of possibilities, of giving everyone a fair shot, of leaving no one behind. We've never fully lived up to it, but we've never walked away from it either. We will not walk away from it now. We should never allow the country to walk away from the dream upon which it was founded. That opportunity is for everyone, not just a few. We need a new path forward, a path consistent with the law that protects diversity and expands opportunity.
Former President Barack Obama also released a statement regarding this matter, saying, quote, "Like any policy, affirmative action wasn't perfect, but it allowed generations of students like Michelle and me to prove we belonged. Now it's up to all of us to give young people the opportunities they deserve and help students everywhere benefit from new perspectives," end quote. Now, obviously, both of them are very disappointed by what's happened. Although, if we're talking about presidents, former President Trump was glad about the Supreme Court's decision. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said, quote, "People with extraordinary ability and everything else necessary for success, including future greatness for our country, are finally being rewarded. This is the ruling everyone was waiting for, and the results are amazing. It will also keep us competitive with the rest of the world. Our greatest minds must be cherished, and that's what this wonderful day has brought. We're going back to all merit-based, and that's the way it should be," end quote. Ugh. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Should we base admission into universities through race or merit? Now, obviously, merit should always come first, but if there's disparities, there should be some leveling of the playing field. That's my take. While President Biden was clear on his side of this decision, one confusing statement from him seems to show that he contradicts himself. Here's what he said in a recent fundraiser for his re-election campaign, quote, "I'm a practicing Catholic. I'm not big on abortion, but guess what? Roe v. Wade got it right," end quote. It kind of seems as if he just said that his religion was wrong. Now, we're not going to get into that, but I mean, it's just a little confusing as to what side he's actually on here. And if he's agreeing with Roe v. Wade based primarily on the pandering of his supporters, I really can't tell here. What do you guys think is the case? Now, from past and current presidents, let's move on to somebody who wants to win it all for Democrats in 2024. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is making an argument for gun control in which he said that, quote, "I do not believe that there is, within that Second Amendment, that there is anything we can meaningfully do to reduce the trade and the ownership of guns, and I'm not going to take people's guns away. Anybody who tells you that they're going to be able to reduce gun violence through gun control at this point, I don't think it's being realistic," end quote. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Me personally, I don't think that new laws are going to really be changing anything, but feel free to drop your comments and your opinions in the conversation down below. Now, I know that a lot of us are already waiting as to what 2024 has in store for us. However, we should not forget that there's still a lot of time left in 2023, and with time comes change. So what if I told you that you can still make a change this year? Now, I know that many of you guys are doing your best to get through day by day, and along with that, we're also working toward financial freedom and success. I get that. Now, investments are still one of the best ways to get ahead of the pack, but you gotta have a little bit of know-how, be it in the stock market, real estate market, or even something as simple as gold and silver. And the same could be said for strengthening your cash flow, generating multiple streams of income via side hustles or even small businesses. Now, while I wrap things up, go ahead and do me a huge favor. Go ahead and smash that like button, share this video with your friends and loved ones, subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys for everything, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.